This Republican called Texas's gender mutilation ban cruel. It's Friday, June 28th, 2024, and these are your headlines. Man, before we get started, did you see the debate last night? I'm not one of those people who's thought that they would replace Joe Biden come the November election, maybe do that at the convention. I've not been in that position. After watching last night, I can't imagine how they go on without doing that. Let me know in the comments, reply to this. Let me know if you think that Biden's going to ultimately be the nominee or whether they're going to switch him out. But first, we want to now get back to some actual Texas news. Texas can enforce its ban on drugging and mutilating gender-confused children, according to a ruling issued today by the state Supreme Court. The ban, passed last year, Senate Bill 14, prohibits giving minors life-altering medical treatments that purport to treat the psychological condition gender dysphoria and often leave patients sterile and with other irreversible side effects. The banned treatments include harmful drugs as well as surgeries to remove healthy body parts that are prescribed for the purposes of transitioning, quote unquote, a child's biological sex or affirming a child's mental misperception of their sex. Well, in an 8-1 decision, we'll talk about that one in just a second, the Texas Supreme Court reversed an order issued by a trial court in where else but Travis County that had temporarily blocked SB 14's ban on the controversial treatments. Plaintiffs in the case, which include the ACLU of Texas, claimed the ban violated the Texas Constitution. Well, the Texas Supreme Court disagreed, emphasizing the fundamental right of all fit parents to direct their child's care, while acknowledging the legislature's legitimate interests in both regulating medical procedures and protecting the health and well-being of children. Justice Deborah Lehrman filed the only dissenting opinion. She called SB 14 cruel for withholding harmful and irreversible medical interventions from children for whom treatment could be life-saving. Life-saving is what she said. Of course, recent research refutes those claims that drugging or mutilating gender-confused children is in any way life-saving, and studies have actually shown that 80% of gender dysphoric children grow out of it without any medical intervention at all. The chairman of the Texas Democrat Party, Gilberto Hinojosa, says election fraud is taking place in South Texas. The claim's based on a lawsuit filed in Hidalgo County contesting the election for Justice of the Peace Precinct 3, Place 1. The certified vote showed Sonia Trevino winning the Democrat primary runoff last month with 4,233 votes, while Ramon Segovia finished second with 4,202 votes. Now, Segovia is currently challenging the election results, with Hinojosa representing him as his lawyer. The lawsuit makes numerous allegations of voter fraud, including numerous votes being allegedly cast illegally by individuals registered at an address that was not their residence or was not a residence at all. Many voters who cast ballots during early voting and on election day were allegedly assisted in reading or completing the ballot, despite not being eligible for such assistance under Texas Elections Code. And this is very interesting, numerous mail-in ballots that were counted they say should not have been counted due to voters being either ineligible to vote by mail, incorrect or mismatching signatures, and mail-in ballots prepared without direction from the voter. Hinojosa's claims of voter fraud run counter to the talking points of many Texas Democrats. You remember back in 2021, Democrat lawmakers in the Texas House fled to Washington, D.C. to break quorum in an attempt to thwart election integrity legislation. They said it wasn't a problem. And meanwhile, the current Texas Democrat Party platform calls for a universal, no-excuse vote by mail and the repeal of voter ID laws. The contest comes as Hinojosa is also representing an Edinburgh City Council candidate, Jerry Lozano. A judge recently threw out the results of his election after determining that campaign workers, known as politiqueros, illegally assisted voters in casting ballots for his opponent.
Are you worried about your kid's future? You should be. I'm Charles Blaine with Texas Tomorrow. This is a show where we're going to talk about the issues and the people that are pushing the policies that concern your family, your home, and your kids. Catch Texas Tomorrow every Thursday.
In an open letter to school districts by students engaged in advancing Texas, or SEAT, Rolls right off the tongue. American Federation of Teachers Union affiliate Texas AFT joined a coalition of student activists and more than 30 organizations urging superintendents to support the Biden administration's radical changes to Title IX, as well as condemning Governor Greg Abbott's order to the Texas education agencies that says to ignore the new rules. Title IX's original role was to prevent sex discrimination in federally funded school programs. The Biden administration altered the definition of sex in Title IX to include gender identity and sexual orientation. Now, according to the letter released by the group, they claim Texas has, quote, wasted taxpayer dollars on frivolous federal lawsuits. They also expressed their disappointment in the state administration's active refusal to accept Title IX protections as interpreted by the federal government and its, quote, relentless audacity to challenge the law in court at the expense of the people of Texas. Additionally, the letter says that the new Title IX rules safeguard transgender and gender expansive individuals. Gender expansive individuals. I don't even know what that one means. From discrimination that schools in Texas have pushed with increasing frequency and scope in recent years. Now, federal court, by the way, has since struck down the Biden administration's 1,500-page revision. So I suppose the lawsuits weren't that frivolous after all. For more of today's stories, go to TexasScorecard.com.